say na me TikTok. No shoot, no shoot, no shoot cop. Say me no waje, no waje cop. Na me dream say ya na who change, na wa fair change, na me yimo. Say o man 1 billion crowd, no be the ones to be bar no ni Nico. 50 people, na me TikTok. Say me ma send ya puto. Say be me dia to la kuma dentino, di mi ti tu si so. Wasi le mux se potreko, le produce ya me more. Ma go me sa me de dato. Say na me need that the big call. It me go so no me funny me so me go me for so no me people wanna want to ya me Jimmy Dog.
Presently, you are listening to the spiritual vibrations with your host, Sister P. All tune in, including he, she, and the old lady. Styles FM to the world.
Mr. Brown, the work material done, you know. What me fi do?
Check Robinsons and Sons Hardware, man. Them have everything you need and more. They are at 18 West Palm Avenue, Port Antonio, Portland. Paints, nails, doors, everything to meet your hardware needs and much more. Call them at 993-9763 or 382-6209 and email them at sandarhardware@gmail.com.
Mr. Brown, me get everything we need quick and fast. Sure, maybe we could have just stopped the chatting so we could have done the work just as fast.
What was that, Johnny?
No, man. We just say Robinson and Son are going good.
Robinsons and Sons Hardware. We are always here to serve you.
With Styles FM on the go, you can listen to your favorite programs by calling the USA number 213-992-4360. If you're in the UK, is 033-0010-3322.
Want to create an exquisite home or office space? Let Everything Electrical be your home improvement retailer of choice. At Everything Electrical, we offer a wide selection of building materials, tools, and modern accessories. Our competent staff will guide you in making your investment meaningful by providing buying guides, installation services, and site visits. Visit us at any of our convenient locations, West Street, Port Antonio, and Morant Bay, St. Thomas. Call us at 715-6412 or 734-0817.
You're tuned in to Spiritual Vibration with Sister P.
Good morning, Mr. Sterling.
Good morning, Sister P. Good morning, my listeners out there everywhere. I hope you're having a great day, everybody.
I know I am. I'm alive.
Oh,
so
yes.
I better have a great day.
I've been doing a little running myself this morning to get here, almost late, but thank God I'm here.
Yes.
Just like to give a little shout out here, Sister P, to my listeners out there in right across the parishes from Hector's River to all the way in from Manchonil all the way over into St. Mary, places like Golden Valley, Orocobesa, all the way down to Ocho Rios. There are listeners all across the country listening to the programs and listening to Sister P and Spiritual Vibration. Of course, they're talking about it every day.
Give thanks. Yes. Okay, Mr. Sterling.
Yes, ma'am.
The mother of that little boy that had that tumor, she was in this morning. I wished I could have spoken to her, but she just came in the middle of the program, so I didn't really get to talk to her. But, there was this walkathon, and yes, she says that he's much better. He's going to Dr. Fowler.
Good.
And moringa is one of the herbs.
Yes, that's used in the treatment of tumors. It's very excellent to shrink those tumors. Moringa. Even if folks don't have a complaint, understand that moringa is so loaded with important nutrients that you don't have to be diagnosed with a sickness to be using the moringa, because it's so good as a part of your dietary supplement.
I have I have some brethren, they don't really eat food that is cooked.
Okay.
And they use the moringa leaves in their salads.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. The fresh leaves.
The fresh leaves.
Fresh leaves, of course. One of your listeners came this morning asking me for moringa seeds. Yeah, she said, how I got this information from listening to Sister P's program.
Okay.
And she said, look, I took 2 of these moringa seeds and I'm hypertensive. And she said, when I went to check my pressure the day after, guess what? Pressure was normal.
Yes.
Just 2 moringa seeds taken normalized her blood pressure. So she came this morning to make sure she has a little stock up of the moringa seeds.
And it has a funny taste.
It has a funny taste.
At first, and then afterwards, it gets sweet. Yeah, that sweetish taste. It's funny.
Yeah,
yes.
That's true. It has. I think it has 3 different tastes. It's bitter, it's sweet, and it's sour.
Yes.
And after you have done that now, and even if you should take a little water in your mouth, the water is actually sweet.
Yes,
You know what they said, dating back from Bible times, Sister P, regarding this tree? some people believe that this was a tree that Moses, when he was in the wilderness and the people were famished for water, and they complained. And God showed Moses a tree because when they got to Mar, the water was bitter. And they couldn't drink the water, it was too bitter. So God showed Moses a tree and he cut the tree and threw it into the river and the water became sweet.
But you know that in the Egyptian Egyptian scrolls,
yes,
there are several mentions.
Yes.
I think what they call it is the Dead Sea Scrolls or something.
Dead Sea Scrolls, yes.
There's several mentions of moringa.
In there.
Yes.
I'm telling you. So folks believe that this was a tree that Moses actually found. God showed him to cut. Yes.
So today?
Okay, we continue to talk about female troubles, female reproductive problems, because all over the world, women are suffering and they're spending their hard-earned money every day on treatments that won't work.
Did you see that report that says there are 100,000 women in Jamaica who are suffering from endometriosis?
100,000 women suffering from endometriosis. It's not surprising. That's expected, Sister P.
Yes.
You know when some things are expected.
Yes.
Because guess what?
Seed you sow is what you reap.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
The result of what we do every day.
Yes.
So more women they're going to come down with this. But thank God, there are some who are listening. We may think that they're not listening, Sister P.
I know a few people.
But folks, not just a few. I think a lot of folks are listening.
Yes, I know my neighbor
are acting on the information they're receiving.
Yes, I know that. I know that. But look at Rosie.
Look at Rosie, for example.
In New York, yes.
Oh my! I tell you, that girl, she just believes in everything that's natural, and she's just acting on what she has been learning.
And I know my neighbor. She come to me that when you talk to them, she went, "But Mr. Sterling, say again." Yeah, yes. Yeah. And then you have some people who basically don't care.
There are some people who just don't care until when they fall into the ditch. They say, Lord, I did know, and at that time, sometimes it's too late. But we're talking to those who will listening.
Yes, and here we go, Rosie.
Hi, Rosie.
Says a big thank you for the stuff for Andy.
Okay, Rosie.
It's really helping him.
Yes, and his blood sugar went down from 38, I think, to 17 just overnight by what I gave to him, and so he's doing well.
Yes.
Big up, Rosie. Thank you for your text and for always being in touch.
Yes.
So endometriosis, we'll talk about that next week. But today we'll continue to talk about menstruation, Sister P.
Yes.
Menstruation. Because what most women experience, they think it's normal. But what most women experience is a disease condition. And it is labeled menstruation. And I'm saying that menstruation, for the most part, is a disease to be treated.
Not the menstruation itself, you mean the pain and aches that goes with the menstruation?
Okay, what I'm talking about is that because Western women do not understand what good menstruation is, which I'm going to explain.
Yes.
What they do go to the doctor for. Once you have to go to the doctor for something, you're in a diseased state.
Yes.
And you leave feeling that, okay, women were born to feel the pain.
It's just like some people say, God put us on earth to suffer.
To suffer. Thank you very much.
No, I would not put us on earth
God has never put us here to suffer. He loves us so much.
God couldn't be a good God if he put us here to suffer.
People do not identify the person who is causing the suffering, and that's what they need to do.
Yes, which is self.
Okay.
It's easy to blame it.
Okay.
God.
So women don't understand. This year, 2014, I think, a vast number of women are going to be better off because they are listening, they're reading, and they're acting on the information. Now, what's normal menstruation? Let's just look at that a little bit. Women have organs called ovaries, and these are two small structures located at the belly bottom, right? Yes. One to the left and one to the right. So sometimes you're feeling pain. You say, pain in my belly bottom.
Yes.
Here, so, and right here, so I'm having the pain. Now, when the child is young, when the girl is young and has not yet grown to maturity, she's still in childhood, she doesn't experience those pains because she has not yet started producing sex eggs. All right, so when a girl arrives at
puberty,
a young woman, yes, in early adult life, some number of interesting changes begin to take place in her body. She begins to recognize them, parents begin to recognize them, and also some unscrupulous males begin to recognize them in a bad way too. Because, some men just look at some little young girls coming up and just, with wanton eyes and that corrupt way of looking at ready to spoil young children as before they are mature. Now, before they're mature, these eggs are not produced, but coming into maturity, they begin to produce what we call sex eggs. These are making ready for reproduction. If she's sexually active and one of these eggs are ready and mature, it will fertilize and she'll become pregnant. So young girls need to know that they mustn't play with anything such as that. Stay away from sexual activities. Although there are thousands of immature cells in the ovaries, only a few respond each month to the influence of the female hormone. So you find that that only a few of these respond to the female hormones, and they respond. Now, these female hormones enter into a rapid phase of growth. These few that seem to come to maturity, to complete their growth each month, they come to full maturity and are ready to be liberated from the ovaries. Now, when they're liberated from the ovaries, if they meet with the sperm, then you know what happens. There's a union there and pregnancy occurs. Now, usually, only one is released during a particular month. Now we're talking about, listen carefully, my listeners, normal menstruations. That's what we're trying to define here. So when these sex eggs are produced by this young woman who is coming into maturity, a number of millions of sex cells are produced each month. A few of them jostle to be matured at a particular time and date of the month. Now, one will come to maturity during this particular period. And what happens is that it is released. It is liberated. So usually only one is released, mark that, during the particular month. The others just mainly perish. Now these cells liberate, making pregnancy possible, as I said before. If pregnancy does not occur, then the follicle in which the egg is located, it bursts. And listen what happens. This little follicle bursts to release one egg. And as the egg is released, a little bleeding occurs, which fill the empty follicle with blood. This little blood then is swept through the uterus into the mouth of the cervix and down into vaginal passage. This little blood caused by the breaking of this egg that is mature and seeps through down to the vaginal passage, causing no pain, no cramps, no undue discomfort. This is normal period.
All right. So this is one egg.
One egg released.
So what about those people now who bleed for all 1 week now? Tell me how that goes, Mr. Sterling.
I'm coming to that.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Bleeding for 1 week, that's a big problem.
Yes.
Big problem. Because I have a long list of female troubles that we will discuss over time. But the bleeding for prolonged periods of time, that is a serious problem. Sometimes it is caused by a condition known as endometriosis.
So that is what endometriosis. Okay.
Endometriosis.
Yes.
What happens too is that each month when the woman has her period, because her diet is loaded with all kinds of unwholesome and denatured foods, it forms in her body mucus, pus, coals, accumulates in the system.
Yes.
And all of these glands in the reproductive area, as a matter of fact, all of the secretory glands from the head and the nasal passages, sinus problems and all of that are caused by these conditions. And so the same kind of condition of sinusitis that clogs the mucous membranes of the head and the nose and so on, these same kinds of mucus also clogs the reproductive organs
Okay.
The tubes
makes
and
sense,
and
yes, it makes sense. In other words, if you're really eating properly.
Yes. You won't accumulate all kinds of mucus in your system.
And just to go back to Marie Reed now, who is eating properly, but probably did not take the time to clean out that junk before
we're coming to that cleansing
eat.
time,
Yes.
cleansing period, cleansing. We're coming to that cleansing program at another time as well.
Yes.
But bleeding between periods and long perfused bleeding, Sister P. So these, each time that she menstruates, she's not cleaning out everything. Actually, what happens, because the body is loaded with mucus, when menstruation comes, instead of the one egg that's been mature and released showing little sign of blood, that resulting in no pain or discomfort, what happens is just that it is documented that what really occurs is a loss of vital nutrients in the mucus discharge. And so millions of cells just lose their constitution due to mucus discharge, and they deteriorate and hemorrhage.
Okay, I wonder if people really following what we're saying. Because you know something? I tell you the truth. When I see some people sometime and I see them condition and I say, them just don't care. They don't care.
They don't care at all. No care. So when these cells lose their constitution, rather than one mature egg being released, a number of different eggs, they just break away. You know what I'm saying? Break away and breaks loose and becomes bad and overloads the system. Overloads the tubes now. And so the tubes are puffy and overloaded and causing a serious contraction and leading to pain. But we haven't come to the bleeding, perfused bleeding yet. During the menstrual cycle, when the uterine lining goes through its regular changes, including the swelling and bleeding, these masses or patches of tissues do the same, giving rise to pain and hemorrhaging. So what accumulates in the body there is that each month when she menstruates, everything is not cleared. So whatever is retained forms masses and different tissues of their own and connects themselves to the lining of the uterus.
And is then where we talk about the fibroid tumors? Is that what?
Definitely. So you're talking about a building up of garbage within the system. Each morning you go and you sweep your house, but you didn't scrape up the rubbish. You leave a little there. And the next morning you leave a little there, and next morning, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to become a big dump after a while.
Yes.
And so the system is not cleansed on a monthly basis, and each month it seems to get worse and worse because the passage is getting, the lining of the passage is getting smaller and smaller, and so when the contraction comes, you have more pain.
Okay.
So that is one of the reasons for in between periods and long perfused period, endometriosis. Patches of tissues growing along the line of the uterus, causing all kinds of different problems. And women would like to also understand that some of the reasons for these, I've mentioned some before. One, Sister P, and I want you to talk to them for me. I want you to talk to them girls out there for me. Overeating.
Boy.
Yeah.
But you know, as you're talking that, you know, Mr. Sterling.
Overeating.
Yes. You know what I noticed? When I was growing up, you didn't have women with big bellies. And I noticed that people have big bellies now, and they think, just like they think that pain is associated, pain with your monthly cycle.
Yes. They think that pain is normal.
They think that, yes, they think that pain is normal. They think God put you on earth to suffer.
Feel the pain.
And they think that a big belly is normal.
A big belly is in. That's in style. That's what they think. But when it comes to pain for women, there's one place in the Bible that speaks about women having pain, and that's a woman in travail, or a woman who is delivering a baby.
Okay.
So if a woman has any other pain except the pain of child's birth, something is wrong.
Yes, and when I say that about the big bellies, because what you are saying here now ties in. Because I would say that most of the people who probably have the big belly have the pain associated with the period.
Definitely. Some of the big
Yes.
bellies you see there, they are fibroids.
Yes.
Some of the big bellies you see there, they are ovarian cysts developing there. Some of the big bellies are gassy, and it's bloating. Some of the big bellies are just full of fecal matter. In other words, they're just plain full of it.
Well, I don't know why certain words you can't say on radio. It's a normal thing.
No.
If everybody don't do that, then we're all going to dead.
Yes.
So why you can't say these words on the radio? I don't understand that.
Yeah, they understand
You know
what we're
what that
talking
is?
about.
It have,
Sister
all
P.
have to do with the Queen and the British system. when you look at these things that
Yes,
Queen don't
yes,
go to toilet.
Yes.
You know,
In other words, if you're not eliminating, if you're not passing out fecal matter, if you're not passing out those waste matter out of your system, then it's going to bloat you up. You're going to have big bellies, and after a while, you're going to be full of it.
Yes. So all of that is related.
All of that is related.
related.
All of that is related to fibroids. All of that is related to ovarian cysts. All of that is related to the inflammation of the organs inside, including the appendix.
Including the appendix.
Yes,
Mr.
because
Sterling, do me a favor. Tell
Yes.
them the number one thing where them eat, we give them those things.
Well, women do know already, and they won't start. Well, let me not say that. Some women, Sister P.
The number one thing
listen,
that people eat.
The number one. Did you know that I know a woman who works at the chicken factory. I know one who works at the chicken factory, and she doesn't eat chickens anymore.
Okay.
Just for the sake of, just because of what she sees happening in the chicken factory. She says that dead fowls don't go to waste here.
Oh boy.
Dead fowls don't go to waste. You see, these fowls, they are stress fowls. No wonder women suffer with so many stresses. Stress fowls. Now, anytime we go against God and nature, we must suffer, you know. God made day and night. And every good fowl I know, they go to roost at night.
Yes.
But the bad fowl don't go to no roost. In fact, they sleep in the light. They don't even sleep.
Yes.
They eat 24/7
Yes.
in order to grow and to gain flesh quickly. And this is the food that women do love to eat. So this woman said that when the chickens become so stressful and so sick, they just fly up in the coop and drop dead. So next morning when you go to factory and you see chickens dead, you all know that you're going to clean up the dead ones first. And these going to market first. Okay, these going to market first. The dead chickens.
In other words, we're almost on Janko.
Well, I tell you, we're cleaning up every dead thing, Sister P. Every dead thing we're cleaning up. And as I said last week, nothing is wasted in the butchery. Nothing is wasted. And people don't understand the filth that they are eating. Direct, perfect filth that people eat. When you open a can of sausage, it's filth you're eating.
Have mercy. But that's another thing. When I was growing up,
when you go to your burger
got no
sandwiches,
sausage.
that's filth you're eating. And people don't understand that. Why do I say that? Nothing is wasted. Now the fowl coop, when they've killed out all that batch of sick fowls out there, now the feather and the filth and the leftover feed and the guts and the tripe and everything is brought back together and mixed with molasses and cane trash and other byproducts, and it's reheated and reprocessed and go through a process of heating that they say kill bacteria. And when that comes out on the other end of the production chain, it is called hypro feeds or something like that. So it goes back into the chicken. So women who eat chicken don't know what they eat. If you would turn back into your toilet and eat what you just dropped, then if you could eat chicken, then you could turn back to your toilet and eat what you just dropped there, because it's the same thing, no better.
You know, the other day I was saying to one of my little friends, I said, you stop eating chicken back yet? He said, no. I said, she knows that she listening here now. I'm not calling her name. I said, how old was the chicken back? She said she don't know. I said, tell me something. If you had something in your freezer, if you had a meat in your freezer for over 1 year, you would go in there and eat it? She said, no. So when you say all them chicken back were coming from Merck and them places, these things are over, you know, these things are old. And we're still eating them.
And so you will find that some women listening this morning, they will listen and they will hear, but others just don't care.
No, they just don't care. But
Until
usually the ones who don't care,
yes,
I keep saying it, are the ones that do not know that slavery was over.
Slavery is over, but
Yes.
we continue to enslave ourselves
yes,
by what the Europeans have put together for us to eat as a meal. So overeating is a problem. Don't overeat. Don't overeat. Now, eating the wrong diet.
I have to admit, I love food, Mr. Sterling.
Yes, of course, we should love food, but we should know our God limit. If you drive on the road and in a 50 kilo zone and you drive at 60, the speed cops could pull you over and charge you for exceeding the speed limit.
Yes.
So if you are a person who loves to eat too much, then each time you sit down, you exceed the feed limit. And each time you exceed the feed limit, you are going to suffer. Yes. You may not suffer today, but
you're going to suffer.
Are going to suffer.
You have to pay
you
the price.
Must pay the price.
You must pay the price.
There are consequences in life. One man says there are neither rewards nor punishments. Yes. There are only consequences. So these are the consequences that we face for the wrongs that we do to our bodies on a daily basis. Eating the wrong diet. Every day we talk about that, Sister P. So let me just go down. Denatured food. Denatured food. Let me just mention one denatured food out there. People like peanut butter. I love peanut butter. But let me tell you something. When you go into the shops and get a bottle of peanut butter and you come home and say, yeah, this is my peanut butter, and you give it to your children. Children not yet mature, children just coming to maturity, and they're eating that stuff. That's not peanut butter. What really you get into that is a whole lot of, first is denatured peanuts, those spoiled peanuts, rancid peanuts, because they're not going to put good peanuts into making that.
Oh boy.
All the rancid peanuts they scrape and put together and mix with other creams and artificial colors and artificial sweeteners and artificial preservatives and all of that you get from that. So that's not peanut butter. If you want good peanut butter, you need to make it yourself. Or if you don't have the time to make it yourself, come to me and I'll give you good peanut butter.
Yes, because you do, in your shops, you do have good peanut butter.
Yes, I tell peanut butter, no salt, no added preservatives. It's just all natural and good. All right, denatured food. Too much social life cause women to all kind of menstrual problems to happen to women. Too much social life. They drink, they sport, they bleach. They you know, they don't go to bed.
I mean, bleaching both ways, I guess.
Bleaching both ways.
Bleaching with the night business.
Bleaching both ways. Yes. And I'm going to touch a little very sensitive area now that some people wouldn't believe that this really is happening. One of the reasons for female reproductive troubles is excessive sexual activity. Now you're going to ask me, how much is excessive? You know,
that is it.
Yes, excessive sexual activity.
Yes.
Some girls begin to become active from too early. You know that.
From 10 years old.
Yes, and some.
But
women,
have you noticed that the parents are letting them, like 11, 12-year-olds, they're wearing eye makeup, eyeshadow, high heel shoes, and fancy hairstyles? I mean, I saw one little girl one day, and I'm saying to myself, wait a minute. I wonder if the mother righted, because she's setting up the little girl.
I tell you, it's just a lot of craziness going on, Sister P. From a long time ago in the United States, the parents have decided that, look here, this thing has already gone out of control, and there's nothing, it seemed, that we can do to prevent them from having sex. So guess what? Just teach them how to protect themselves.
That's the whole sex education in the school system.
The sex education. Teach them how to protect themselves. Give them the condoms and whatever. So you find that your little primary school child is learning how to put on a condom.
I'm telling you.
I've seen that happen. I've seen that happen. It is so terrible. So these women have been enslaved sexually, but they don't even know.
No.
They don't even know it. And let me go back a little bit to holistic African times. You know, and just before we do that, just look at nature, for example, Sister P. Look at the animals. God created sex, and I'm not discussing sex per se this morning.
No, we're not discussing sex. We're just life.
Yes, and we're just saying that excessive sexual enslavement leads to the draining of hormones in men and women, and all kind of reproductive problems, plus menstrual problems in women, excessive sexual activity. If you notice the animals out there in the bushes, the goats, the cows, the whatever animals, they don't overindulge in sexual activity.
There's a time for everything.
There's a time and a season for everything under the sun.
Yes.
There's a time for this and a time for that. And the animals do have a mating season. Now in holistic African times, the Africans had a mating season. You know that, Sister P.
Yes.
There's a certain time when, you know, it's time for love, and as Solomon says, you know. Yes. Mating season. But now because of slavery and because of wars And because of wickedness on the part of the Europeans, on the Africans, we have lost all of that. So we have become sex slaves.
Yes, one of the things that I have noticed more than anything else is how carnal this society has become.
Very carnal.
Very carnal.
Everything is down and under.
Yes. You're having a conversation with people and you might say so and so and so and so.
And they interpret it to mean something below the belt.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
Very carnal.
And
that's what the society has come to.
Yes, I get thrown off because sometimes you will say, boy, you know, I said such and such a young man and such is the case. Oh, the reason that him says so, Mr. P, is because he know a woman and him need this and him need that and him need that.
That's right.
Or you will say to somebody, a young lady, and you say, oh, I don't see that. Why, you know, how much man she take, you know, it's like, wow, it's too much.
It's just crazy.
It's too much.
It's just crazy. And our little children, they have been drowning themselves in all of that, going to school.
And parents having sex in front of children, all kinds of things going on out there. We have just become too carnal.
Too carnal. And even if they do, even if they do not do it live in front of them, they're watching the videos and they're watching the things on
and blue movies. I understand. I never seen a blue movie in my life.
My
blue
Lord.
Movies, all kind of things.
As it was in the time of Sodom,
I'm telling you.
so shall it be in the time of the end. These are truly end times, Sister P. These are truly end times.
Well, there is something would be definitely wrong with me if I wanted to sit and watch a movie with other people doing what they're doing. Then I would consider myself totally lost.
Definitely.
Totally
Definitely
lost.
so.
That's the best that I could find to do with the life that the Creator gave me.
Oh my Lord. We
That's
have to talk to people. Parents need to take more responsibility, you know, for their children. See what they're watching. Look at what they're reading, who they're associating with and all of that. We need to save our children. We need to save our children. It's a wicked, vicious world out there, parents. You need to guard over your children and watch to see what they do.
We have a few minutes. You want Cassidy, take your ads and then we can do another few minutes.
You're tuned in to Spiritual Vibration with Sister P.
Hey, this is me, brother again. I tell you, say, if you want to advertise anything you have, if you sell anything, truck, car, bus, anything you're keeping, make sure you advertise the past times FM. Call this number 439-5160. 439-5160. And I guarantee you, everybody I go in your business.
This is the deal of a lifetime. Even Brian's Variety Store, 1 Summerstown Road, Port Antonio, is having their clearance sale. 10 to 50% off selected items for men, women, boys, girls, and also the best in household items. Sale starts on the 27th of February to the 8th of March. Contact them at 576-2895. That's 576-2895. So come check out Even Brian's Variety Store, 1 Summerstown Road, Port Antonio, right next to Bonneview Hill Foot.
With Styles FM on the go, you can listen to your favorite programs by calling the USA number 213-992-4360. If you're in the UK, is 033-0010-3322.
Oh yes, you can. Be your own boss. Buy digital phone cards wholesale from the Source Card Center and resell them for a profit. It's the job that's easy, convenient, flexible, and you're the boss. Buy digital phone card wholesale from the Source Card Center and resell them for a profit. Conditions apply. Get started today. Visit or call us at 173 Mountain View Avenue, Kingston 6. Telephone number 978-3119. That's 978-3119. Source Card Center.
You're tuned in to Spiritual Vibration, Styles FM 96.1 with Sister P. It's styly, it's fiery. Jennifer Barrett said that.
Okay, Mr. Sterling wants to go into some of the herbs that can assist you with your problem.
Yes, for menstrual problems, menstrual pains, profuse bleeding, painful menstruation and all of that, I'll give you a few tips here, just a few tips. Your foods, it's important. Your diet is important. Women should leave off eating fast foods, processed foods.
Which is the KFC and the
fast foods, yes.
Fast foods. Okay.
Fast foods from the restaurants, the pizzas, the burgers, the patties, the pies, the pastries, you name it. Fats and oils and grease, you should reduce that drastically and cut off on your meat intake. Yes. There are some foods that you should include into your diet. Cherries, berries, cranberries, all kinds of berries. Blackberries, blueberries, you name it. Grapes of all kinds. OTET apples, oranges, onions, garlic, beetroot. Go to the market and get your greens, you know, and your fresh vegetables and fruits. These are very important. Don't leave the garlic, don't leave the onions, nor the beetroot. Make sure you have those. Every time you go shopping at the market, onion, garlic, and beet. Combine those together and have them for menstrual pains, for profuse menstruation, for bleeding between period, for those who are anemic, and all of that. That will build up the blood. Here are some herbs. Red clover blossom. You don't know it when you come to the store. Those who have access to me in Port Antonio, you know where I'm located now. Blake Street, upstairs Hallgates, just the corner of Blake Street and Harbor Street. And my number is 392-9196. That's 392-9196 in the heart of Port Antonio. Blake Street, Harbor Street corner, you'll see the orange cart back there sometimes.
The orange cart is downstairs.
Right, you'll see up the steps, you'll see the marking there.
Right across from the gas station.
Across from, exactly. So red clover blossom is important. Red clover blossom. Chamomile for menstrual pains. Chamomile, excellent. It soothes and
because
it heals.
It relaxes you, right?
It relaxes the nerve as well and helps you to get refreshing sleep. Chickweed is a herb that anywhere it itches, it can soothe. Chickweed is very important. Combine these three herbs with a little golden seal powder, and that will help. Another herb is also echinacea, ECHINACEA. I'll just give you those few for now. There are a number of others, including Pardiaco, as I mentioned the first time, and yellow dock. Pardiaco, PAUDARCO, and yellow dock. Those herbs are female herbs for female complaints. They will help to reverse your conditions. They will help to lessen your menstrual pains. They'll help to reduce your fibroids. And in the case of endometriosis, it will help to clean the system so you will have less and less pains each month. Do not drink ice water. Do not drink cold drinks or sugary stuff, but have things that are naturally sweet, and have water and juices at room temperature. Do not bathe at nights in cold water, because that lowers your body temperature drastically and affects your immune system in a bad kind of way. If you have to bathe in the evenings, take a warm bath instead. Keep your extremities warm, your feet. Do not walk out in shorts at nights and strapless and backless and low cut blouses, because those things will impact a lot on your health.
That I did not know. I mean, not that I do that, but I didn't know that that would happen.
Yes.
The Reed family says, Sister P, Mr. Sterling, do you know what BHA stands for? It is a label on a lot of meat here with no explanations. I have not a clue, Reed family. Marie, I don't know what BHA is.
We'll have to check that out for you, Marie.
Yes.
We'll check that out for you. Thanks for your text.
Yes.
Thanks for your text.
All right, Mr. Sterling.
Thank you so much, listeners. Next week we'll go further talking about, let me tell you the list of female complaints that we'll be discussing. Probably next week we'll get more into it. From painful menstruation to tardy menstruation to profuse menstruation, bleeding between periods, yeast infection. There's a condition called dysmenorrhea. And there's one called endometriosis, which I mentioned a while ago. Fibroids, that's a big one.
Oh,
thousands and thousands of people in Jamaica.
I like to say, if you see 4 women standing up together,
yes.
one of them has
one of them
fibroids.
definitely.
I always like to say that.
Definitely.
If you see 4 women
standing up together, one of them
has fibroids.
or has had fibroids,
yes.
or has done surgery before. Yes, cyst
Yes.
on the ovaries, that's another one too. And the cervical, well, we dealt with cancer some time ago.
Yes.
And also not to forget about the whole question of mental depression affecting women in our world today. Next week, we will take up some more on some of these subjects.
Okay. All right, Mr. Sterling.
God bless you. Have a productive day, Sister P.
And right now, I would like to say happy birthday. Birthday greetings to Hetzy folks, who is 96 years old today. And she lives in Rose Street in St. Mary. And greetings are coming from her children, her grandchildren, and of course her great-great-grandchildren. And Miss Folks, I have to say 96, great job. Hope I can make it that long. And I hope you live to see many, many more moons. Okay, you know, we always, when Mr. Sterling is here, sometimes we end up going a little bit over. So I'm into another segment now. So let us get on with that now, Cassidy. I have to cut off some of them, but go on now. Some of our old time stuff. You know, I have to keep it. When I say keep it jiggy, them still I said that? Right, that was 10 years ago. Anyway, I could go on with what we do.
Tell me, darling, tell me you love me so. Squeeze me, honey, hold me, never let me go. I love you, darling, you know I do. I'll think of you, yeah, yeah, wherever you go. Squeeze me with all your might. I dream, yeah, yeah, you hold me tight. Forever.
Yeah, bless a good morning to you, Taylor.
I'll be true to no one but you. My darling, please don't give your heart to someone, yes, someone new, yeah, hold me with all your might,
sometimes you have to think about your listeners, and sometimes you don't hear from some people for a long time, and you hope that they're okay. And one such person is Joy in Mount Vernon, New York. Joy, I haven't heard from you. Hope all is well.
And I wanna tell you, darling, this is no disgrace. Oh, no.
I also like to say a blessed good morning to listeners in Buff Bay. You see, sometimes I don't really hear a lot of people because there's so much to do, so much always going on and so forth. And people say, they don't like when people talk when music playing. So by the time I finish with something. So anyway, first a blessed good morning to the people in Buff Bay. Blessed good morning to you, Roxanne.
Things you said you love, you're gonna lose. Can't last too long when you're flirting. Can't last too long.
Greetings to you also, Ken. This is Ken in Kildare who says he's full join the show. And God bless to the eye too.